everyone, welcome to the second video in this series from Magical Worlds by Johanna Basford. We are using Castle Arts Gold pencils again today, and we have a cute little snail to colour. We got mushrooms again today like we did yesterday, although tomorrow we don't. So they're they're not all the same. We've got a mushroom down here but none on this one. Got some lily pads, different things. So it's a rather cute page, I think. So let's come in closer. I hope you're all happy with frogs and snails. It's not always the most cute or liked thing, but I think these are drawn in the most adorable way. I just realised I haven't got my light on. I'm just going to pop it on. It does make things a bit yellowy, but it helps me to see, which is always useful. So I haven't thought about what I'm going to do with this page. I've just opened it and now I am thinking. So like we did yesterday, I might do my greens first because I know I want these in green. We haven't got lots of green actually. We've got this leaf here though. I tend to use the same greens all the time, so I'm going to try and do something a little bit different today, just so that I'm not you know, boring you with the same colours. Or, you know, if you don't have the same favourite colours to me, then you might not want to follow along. So let's have a little look. We will go, I think we'll start with the juniper green. We may have used that actually last time. I haven't got my pad with me or my pencil sharpener. That's not good. I'm going to have to go and get those in a minute. So what I'm going to do is put juniper in the base of these. I realise they're small, so it might be a little bit tricky for you to sort of do several colours in this little tiny space, but I'm going to do my best to do it. And if you don't want to do this sort of amount of little detail, then you could just use one colour, but I'm going to use a much lighter colour on the tips, so you could choose which one you want to use, or you know, if you want to try and do what I'm doing. So that is the juniper green, but I'm going to go light. So I'm going to use, I want the mint green light. I'm trying to find it. There it is. Mine is quite hard to see because part of the gold writing has come off. And of course it needs a sharpen, and I haven't got my sharpener. I'm going to go over all of it. So that juniper green sort of turns a little bit more minty and a bit more faded. I don't know if you can see very well. So, but we can still see that that base part is a little bit darker. I hope everyone's feeling good today. I've just had the most lovely walk along my canal, and I took my son. He's had a bit of a sore leg. We were just sort of testing it out and just giving it a bit of a exercise, loosen it up a bit. And we went a different way to where we normally go. And we saw loads of little mandarin ducks all sitting in a tree. They were just so cute. I'm just choosing my next colour, by the way. I am not just randomly nattering. I'm going to use the viridian for a bit of this leaf. And so the mandarin ducks are all sitting in the tree. A few of them in the water. They are beautiful. If you've never seen one, look one up. They are just the most beautiful birds. And we saw this cutest moorhen with a very soggy looking leaf in its beak, scootling, I don't know what word I want to use, I'm just making words up, swimming really fast along the canal back to its nest with this little leaf. It looked so proud of its little leaf. It was just the cutest thing. I'm going to go lighter now. I'm going to go I don't want to go mint green though. What did I just use for viridian? I'm trying to think. I might do a bit of permanent green actually. There we go. And then as we were just heading back home, it was raining a bit. We didn't necessarily want to stay out too long. This man said to us, I've just seen the otter up that way. And we're like, oh. So I said to my son, should we go? He was like, yeah. So we went quite fast, which probably didn't do his leg much good, but anyway, to go and find it. And we stood and looked for ages and we couldn't see it. All we could see was magpies. And then suddenly, just as we were giving up and starting to think we were going to go home, there it was, swimming along. My son got a video of it swimming. it was swimming for a while. This is the leaf green light. I'm going to do the edge and the stem. It was swimming for a little while, and then it popped under the water and started fishing, and then it was just popping up very quickly. It was impossible to get any sort of pictures of it then, but my son managed to get a video of it swimming, so that was fabulous. So we felt very happy. You feel very blessed, very grateful seeing them. I mean, the kingfisher again is another one that you just feel very grateful for seeing, but we also saw lots of cute wrens, some blue tits, and we did see magpies and crows and pigeons and, you know, all those mallards, which actually were very pretty today. The males are looking particularly pretty. It's that time of year where the males have to show off a little bit. That's quite fun. Now I'm thinking I'm going to do up my snail next, and then, although we've got a bit of green there, let's just get that green finished. I think I'm going to use the chrome green. It's quite a strange colour, this chrome. I can't put my finger on it, quite what it is. It's slightly bluey, I think. But also slightly greyy. It seems to go with everything. I've made a mess. I should have sharpened it. Right, I am going to go and get my sharpener. Hold on a minute. Right, I now have a sharpener. I got this one to Gal. It seems good for these pencils. Right, snail. Now I tend to do their bodies in a grey and their shells maybe in a brownish colour. I don't know if I want to do that sort of stereotyped colour, but maybe for this one I will, and then maybe I'll change it up for some of the others. I've gone really cold. I'm gonna use the oyster. I've actually got my nice warm cardigan on today. It had been in the wash, and so I'd been feeling a bit cold, but I do have another cardigan, but just not such a warm one. I do have a warm hoodie, but I find them really uncomfortable to wear. My family all really like hoodies, the boys, you know, in the family, but I find them very uncomfortable. I don't know if it's just my particular one. I'm going to find a darker colour to do a little bit of shadow. I think I'm going to use the blue grey. Yeah, I find the hood really sort of feels like it's pulling down on me somehow. I don't like it. Maybe my hood is particularly heavy. I'm going to put some shadow. No, I'm going to sharpen it first. I'm going to put some shadow under the shell. Some shadow under the shell is a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? There we go. And then maybe I was thinking maybe along the bottom here. And then under here. Like that. There we go. It's only a little bit. Now let's think about the shell. I like the shells to look really shiny. What should we use? Let's have a little look at what we've got. I'm thinking that brown ochre is quite a nice colour. I'm going to go for that. No, it's actually striped. Can you see? We've got these different sections. I'm thinking I would quite like to do it striped, so I'm only going to use this for every other section. I'm going to sharpen it. I show you. So I'm going to start with this small section here and just make it really intense here, a bit less towards the middle, and the same on this one, and the same on this one. So we're doing every other one, so we can put in a bit of a stripe. I don't think I've ever seen a stripy one in this direction. I've seen different colours, like I've seen yellow and brown snails that have sort of got I don't know, a stripe going the other way somehow. But this will just be its own little unique self, as we all are. Yeah, So yes, it's a bit rainy. I've got to go back out later in the rain, but it's okay. Do me good. I'm trying to improve my fitness. I'm trying to choose a section here so that we get some overlap over the other colour. I think I'd start here. Yeah, I'm trying to get more exercise. So going out with my son in the morning is great, and it gets him a bit more as well. As we've been sort of testing his sore leg out, but I've been trying to do it a bit more often. He really enjoyed it this morning, so I think so anyway. So that was good. And now tried this one, I think. So yeah, I'm going to go out on my own no later. He shouldn't come out again because, you know, he needs to rest up. He's got to do a lot more walking tomorrow, and he's got work to get on with as well. But I think he does worry about having the time to do all his work, but I think sometimes you need to make time for a bit of a walk. And we didn't need to be, well, I don't know how long we were, to be honest. Right, there he is so far. Oh, he's looking quite smart, I think. But we need another colour. I've got to decide whether to go dark or light, and I think going dark will make him look quite elegant. So I'm going to go for the permanent brown deep. Where's permanent brown? Oh, there it is. I'm struggling to find it. Permanent brown deep. Okay. You could go lighter if you want, but sort of an orangey brown you'd have to go, I think. So, and I'm doing exactly the same. So layering up more on the edges and then a bit less towards the centre area. And working our way all the way around. Like that, and then just continuing. This centre one's going to be a little bit different, so I'll talk you through that one when we get there. Yeah, it was just such a pretty walk, and I was thinking, oh, when we left the house, you know, it's quite grey and cold, and not quite as cold as normal as it has been, I mean, because of it raining, because there's clouds, we don't have a frost. But I was thinking, oh, this might just end up being quite miserable. But fortunately, we walked a different way along the canal, and so we saw these different ducks and birds, because the way we normally walk is a very busy route, so you don't see so much wildlife because they sort of hide. So we saw loads, so that was really nice. I saw the mandarins in the tree, which was good. I told my sister because, you know, I was excited, and she said, oh, I've never seen them in the tree. And I said, actually, they live in trees, and they have their babies in nests in trees, even though they're ducks. And then the babies have to jump out of the tree to get into the water. Now, what you could do if you want this a bit more 3D is to go dark. Where the black line is defining the swell, you could put a shadowy colour in there, like a black. But I actually feel that it looks okay without that. It looks pretty good. So I'm going to leave it. I don't want to risk spoiling it. But I do need a little colour for this line round here, and I am going to go even darker. So that was a permanent brown deep. I think I'm going to go for the Mars black. Now Mars black is like a browny black. It's really quite dark. I just feel like I want this to be quite dark. Like that. There he is. Looks like he's asleep. Do you think he's asleep? He's got his eyes shut. We've got the stars. Now we've got mushrooms. I'm quite tempted to do them all the same colour. Now what should we do? I'm sort of thinking I want to do them pink. I don't know why. Does brown and pink work? Might do. I was tempted to do the sepia light, which I did here, because it's just my favourite. But I'm going to run it out. So let's do something else. Let's use the cobalt purple, which my brain tells me is pink. It's called purple, but, you know. I'm going to try these two little ones here. They are quite small, so I'm going to start off quite intense though, and then try to just reduce that intensity upwards a little bit, like that, and then do the same here. And then hopefully it looks a little bit lighter towards the top. I think it does a bit. And I think I'm going to do the other two a different colour. And I might do them more of a, I could do them more of a really bright pink colour like the Bengal Rose Deep. Or I could go for a darker colour like a Purple Lake Deep. I think I'm going to go for the Bengal Rose Deep. I think I'm going to go more towards the pink line, which is what I was sort of planning anyway. And just give this one a sharp. I'm going to do it the same. I now haven't done the stems and the spots. I'm just sort of trying to plan it, really. I always find it quite difficult to know what to do with the stem and the spots. So I'm procrastinating. I'm also debating whether to make them the same as each other, you know, these and these the same. This is very awkward, this one. Try and make it quite intense at the bottom. Why am I hungry? It's 20 to 11. Just have to wait. My stomach's rumbling. Maybe it's just wind making me feel. Sometimes I find that. I don't know if I'm just mad. I'm going to sneeze. That was a loud sneeze, not warm sneeze. Right, back to our pen. I was looking at the word warm written down on a piece of paper next to me. That's why I said that. It's my pad where I write down what colours I've used. I was trying to look and see what colour I'd used for the background of our last one. But it says warm grey, wasn't it? So I'll have to have a look. I'm going to look in a minute. Okay, so there's that one. I'm just going to check what I use for the background. Let's do in a blue. Where are you? Ultramarine. Okay. See, I was tempted to do these in blue, and then I sort of thinking, well, we've got this background to do. What colour are we going to do that? So let's do our mushroom stems before I get totally distracted. I'm going to use the almond to start with. This is quite a sort of grey-brown colour. It's pale, as you can see. And I'm going to do them all with this. I'm actually going to do the spots with this as well, so I'm just going to sharpen it a bit. There we go. That's quite pale, isn't it? We'll darken that up with something. I am thinking the Davys grey. There it is. I do need to sharpen. I'm trying to work out if it's going to pour with rain before I go out, looking out of the window. I think I've pretty much decided I'm going to go out after lunch. So I'm just putting a bit down, a few lines there. It just gives it a bit more interest, I think. A bit top and bottom there. But what I'm also going to do is put a little bit on here. Where I put a bit on here, it doesn't show up that much. I'm just putting a bit more on. Like that. There we go. Now we need to make a decision on these little flowers. The flowers have actually got little blobs above them, which I'm going to do it in the chrome green. Fortunately, I remembered that I did those leaves in chrome green, so I'm going to grab it again could hear a siren and do these bits here. There we go. Now, let's pop that back. So what colour should we do these little flowers? See, bluebells, they look like bluebells, don't they? But I can't really use that because I am going to do a blue background. But I don't want to, I know, we can do a purple, a sort of violet. There is the violet deep, but that's quite pale, weirdly. Let's use that. Let's use the violet deep because if we do a dark blue, which I might do, haven't decided yet. I'm just going to go over these all with a light layer to start with. Yeah, if I do a dark blue, it won't get lost then. And then I'm just going to draw up those lines. I like to do that. It just gives it a little bit more shape. There we go. You can do a bit more with it if they're bigger, but they're only little. Now our stars. Now last time I used brilliant yellow. I think I will use a different colour. Why not? Let's use lemon yellow. Got a very different colour here. I think, why not? I actually went around the stars in white pen, didn't I, last time? So I'm just blocking these in. And of course, if you wish, you can do your stars in a glitter pen. You can put a sparkly pen on top to make them shine, if you wish. You know, there's lots of options there for stars. Background. So I need a blue. I think now we used the ultramarine last time. I could use the indigo blue this time. Yeah, I think I might try that. Indigo, is that it there? It's called indigo light, but it's quite intense. So here we go. Now last time what I did was I used a dark colour with a light layer. I'm going to try that again. So here it is, indigo light. So I'm trying to put it down evenly. That I find very difficult, which is why I prefer putting in shadows and shading, because then it doesn't have to be even. But anyway, see how we go. I think I'm getting a book through the post today, so that's going to be exciting. The Colouring Heaven have sent me a complimentary book. Now, I have a sort of deal with them that I do a certain amount of promotion for them, and they send me their free monthly magazine. But this is a little extra, which is nice of them, which is their Seasons magazines series. So I'm getting, I think what's coming is the spring one, and so that's nice. So but they've asked me if I can just do a little bit of promotion for it, so I will, just to let people know that you can get it as a bundle for cheaper. But it's nice to get a few bits. I mean, I think this one has got Agatapop Spring Tinies in it, which is nice, but I don't know what the other editions will have in them. I don't know if they've even decided. I assume they probably have. Last year she had some in the summer one, and but Agatha actually messaged me today, and she said she's not going to give Colouring Heaven any brand new content this year. She's taking it easy. She's had some health issues, as I think she has told people. I don't think I'm breaking any confidentiality rules by saying, you know, she's trying to rest up a bit. She did tell me what it was. It's not nice, but she's she needs to rest, basically, as we often do with these sorts of with health issues. So she's trying not to put any pressure on herself to do lots of work this year, because she overdid it last year, she thinks, releasing all her monthly tinies and then bits and pieces in between. So she said she's not going to make any new stuff for Colouring Heaven this year, but she's going to let them have access to some of her older things to put in their magazines, which is okay. I mean, a lot of their magazines are like that anyway. They have things that people give them that have been in other books, and I think it's interesting because some of them are like, with Agatha's, it's so much cheaper to buy her things in their tiny yearbook than it is to buy from her Etsy, so that's a big advantage. And then with some of them, people, they are they might be only downloads or only Amazon, so you get it on the Colouring Heaven paper, which some people really like. Not everybody does, but I like it. It's not as good quality as some because it's not so thick, but you have to get a balance, don't you? And because it's a magazine, it's shipped all over the place. You don't want it really, really heavy. So, but it's certainly not like newspaper or anything, you know, or like a normal magazine, which is just nasty paper. So, and it's better. I think it's better than Amazon paper. But they do have some of theirs available on Amazon, which Tiny Year now is because it's sold out. So you've got Amazon paper there. It's okay. Amazon paper's okay. It's not my favourite, but it's not my... I have the UK Amazon paper I find nicer than the US Amazon paper, but that may have changed because it's not always consistent. They don't always have the same paper. Right, there is my background. I don't want to... You can, if you want, put lots of layers of that down. I'm just going to put a bit more here because it does look significantly lighter down here. You can put lots of layers of that down, but then it might look a bit too over thick. I want to leave it quite light, like I did with the last one. So I'm just going to do those few layers. Now, a white pen. I am going to do a few little bits. Oh, if I can find my pen. My Sakura Jelly Roll. It's number 5. I don't know if this is going to be a bit thin. I used it for the last one, didn't I? Again, I'm going to use it. I can get it working. You hear me scribble it on some scrap paper. Well, that's my paper where I write down what pencils I've used, so I can put it in the description of the video for you. And you'd laugh if you saw it. I'll show it to you in a minute. It's a book like this. Have you seen these before? These are handwriting practice books, and I got them for my kids when they were young. And yeah, I'm using them up now because we didn't use them all, but they did used to use them quite a bit. My one son's handwriting isn't good at all, and I worked with him a lot trying to improve it, and primary school worked with him too. But then when he ended up being near to taking his exams, the school, the secondary school he was at said, you know, can he use a computer? And I was a bit like, well, will he never learn to write if he uses a computer? Will he be able to use it when he goes on and does exams later, etc.? So I was a little bit concerned. I'm putting a bit on here. But he did use a computer in the end, and it turned out very well. When he went to college, they allowed him to as well. That really doesn't show up very much, does it? I think I need a thicker tipped pen. I'll look for one before the next video. But I'm going to put a bit more on there. I end up taking off what I've put down. Hang on, I'm going to have to stand up. Right, here it is. A Jelly Roll 8. This should be better. I don't know, I just scribbled it and I don't think anything came out. Oh yeah, I can see the difference. Even if you can't. There we go. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. But thank you for watching today. Hopefully you'll tune in tomorrow. We've got frog tomorrow. Yeah, I was thinking frogs, is it frogs and snails and puppy dogs' tails? I wonder if that's where she got this idea from for this page. I think it's rather cute and lovely. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and happy colouring.